All right, little job here today. Don't mind the shop. We're still working on it, organizing it, but it's getting there. We put a few hours in here and there when we have time. So today I have to build a little toolbox door. It's just an underbody toolbox on a flat deck, and they want a new door put in the toolbox because the door is missing. So I'm going to form up a door. It's an older truck. The guys are kind of frugal on their repairs, so it's got to be something quick and easy as possible. I was thinking about just making a little light angle iron frame and just stitching some gauge metal on it, but then I seen the shop has this bad boy and I found this, so let's see if we can form up a door. When I measured the toolbox door, I measured the maximum it could be minus just a hair, and then I measured the minimum could be inside minus a hair, because it's got that strip on the inside with the rubber seal, right? So you got about, quarter inch, maybe a bit more on each side, 3/8, and top to deal with. So I measured the max and the min. So now when I'm forming this door, I'm just making my measurements somewhere in between there. And then so when I form it up, I should be within that range. Even if I'm off a little bit on my forming math, I kind of tried to give myself as much leeway with my measurements. So it's going to be 3/4 inch lips, and the bottom's open. And there was a piano hinge on there. I found a piece of piano hinge I might use, they kind of suck. Then I found 2 well-done bullet hinges, but they're non-greasable, so they're underneath the truck, are probably going to seize up, and eventually it's going to get all stiff and then tear the hinges out of the bottom of the box probably. So I might build a hinge, I might go with a piano hinge. I don't know. Just got to be fast and easy and get these guys going. I got things to do. Right, so normally what you would do is make your measurements with your material thickness allowances for what you need to get your, your final product the right size, and then you're going to notch your corners. So it's a 3/4 inch lip. You notch 3/4 of an inch out of each corner square, and when you form it, it's perfect. But my forming skills are probably a bit rusty. It's been many years since I've worked on a press brake. I used to be an old pro, I swear. But anyway, so I'm just going to cut the outside dimension of the sheet, then form this edge, then trim the corners, then form the 2 sides, just to give myself some room for a margin for error. So let's cut this out. And so I got lots of hours on an old homemade press brake, but I limited hours on a box and pan type brake. This one's homemade, but I think what he's got going on here, it's pretty cool. He's got springs in there. When you let up on this, it automatically lifts up. But I think he's got this back and forth adjuster, so I think you need to adjust that for your material thickness, probably half your material thickness or whatever. I guess your full material thickness. So I have that set to 3/4 because I want the inside of the lip to be 3/4. If I wanted the outside of the lip 3/4, I'd have to subtract half my material thickness back, but that's that. So I think I got to adjust this back, the thickness of this, and then let her rip on the bend. See how strong this baby is. I see he's got a pipe welded there, so I'm thinking what he does is hooks that bad boy to the crane and lets her rip. Maybe. I don't know. Give it a try. Yeah, okay. Well, that just puts the sheet in, so probably I'm going to try to go from the other side. This thing might be a piece of junk. Maybe I just don't know how to use it. Maybe I got the front and back adjustment off, I don't know. There's lots of factors in this. Now let's try this. piece of homemade equipment I've never used before. So. Oh, I see. That's bottomed out. With that bottomed out, it doesn't. Okay. So this thing just sucks. Okay. I see. I see. That's tightened right down. It won't even quench. All right. So much for this thing. I'll figure it out. Go in the other way because he has it set up that the clamping action happens here. So the piece needs to be at least big enough to catch the back because he has the clamps back here, not up here. And then it's kind of, yeah, it's a very inaccurate piece of gear. It's got a big bow to it. Okay. Oh, okay. Exactly 3/4, and the bend started happening back of that because his knife, I guess you would call it, he's got a flat bar. So if you measure from here, it's going to start bending here, but then it's going to bend around. So you're only going to get, you can't get a tight radius. You're only going to get so tight of a radius because it's got to wrap around the corner of that whole flat bar. So you're going to lose some accuracy there. Okay. I never met the old boy who owned this shop. He's retired. Apparently he's a real nice fella. So for now I'm going to trust that he knows what he's doing, and I just don't know how to run his equipment that he bought. Okay. 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 Yeah, no. That's no good, man. You see that? No. Look, no, this thing's no good. This thing, no. Adjusted this knife so it's closer to the front edge, right to the edge of both sides, because in the middle it's like way back because this thing got a big bow to it. Try it one more time. I was thinking after I could have probably put some Bessie clamps down on top of this to hold it, but I'm done with it. Yeah, maybe this brake's made for just like thin metal, but this stuff's like pretty thin. So if you can't bend metal this thin, I got new use for it. All right, edge number 1, pretty good. It's the more you beat on it, the more it stretches the metal and will make this thing warp. It'll dish it, so trying to do so much, but for what it is, okay, bend 1 done. The old-fashioned way. For me, I'd take this thing and get rid of it. Cut the corner out. This side's a bit long, so I'm probably just going to bend it and then just trim off the excess after. And yeah, I'm probably just going to put it over clean out the corner of the table and put it on that and fold her down. And yeah, okay. See this table? You got like an angle iron perimeter frame on it. It's kind of a funky table. Each corner's got it's got this socket, so you can like stick like a socket or an impact in there, and it must be some kind of screw thing. So it's like adjustable legs on the table, so that's kind of wild. But I made it so this sticks out past here. So if I want to hammer any, form this angle, that's going to interfere, which is annoying and dumb. Right, I got both two edges formed up, and this edge I measured there. So once I bend it, it'll be somewhere between my minimum and my maximum allowance. My minimum, 27 11/16. I got as my max, and 27 3/4 is the opening, and then 27 is minimum ID. So yeah, I'm in between there somewhere. Cut this down to 17 inches. Just got to bend that and then trim this edge off. Oh man, we're getting a door. Okay, well there's that set up. I put this angle iron here to get a nice sharp edge and to raise it up a bit because of this lip here on this side, right? Yeah, there's the setup. Just gotta tap that down, get it nice and square, and then trim it off. Found a new one of these with keys in the cabinet upstairs. So I put that in the center, and I never really checked. There's a little bit of a lip on that. So I'll probably just, because the lip goes under, so I'll probably set it so this catch is about a 1/2 inch above the door. That should be lots, and if I have to trim it, I can. Yeah, I'll cut that out and install that bad boy. And then that piano hinge turned out to be aluminum, so that's not gonna hold up very good. So I'll get that in and then figure out a hinge. But it's gonna look exactly like a door, and that's cool. That's good. Looking like a door is good. I kind of messed up. It'll be okay, but I got it in there and it was fitting perfect, but I want it more sticking out here, so I cut this slot further ahead. So now we're barely catching an edge on the back rivets, but I think it'll be okay. If not, I could just drill a hole there and add rivets or something, but yeah, okay. I'll prime around that hole, and then while I'm thinking of a hinge. Cool. Alright, I decided to spray some primer on it. You see how I messed up? Because I put it in, I was like, oh, I want the latch ahead further, so I cut the slot ahead further. But I made those two back rivets not catch nothing. That one would catch. That one, yeah. So I might see if I can just drill a hole like here and here or something after to secure that, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. So I'm just making some hinges here. I was told not to do too much fabrication because these guys are cheap, but I just want it, I gotta make something that I'm happy with. So I'm just going for it. I'm gonna have to eat some hours on this job, but that's okay. A little heavy duty, but I kind of didn't really look at the hinge thing because I was going to use a piano hinge and decided against it. So that's going to go underneath the box. That's what you're going to see from the front right there. Dang, it's Valdo's on. That's it's like 14 gauge or something, so I'll be all right. I'll figure it out. Cool, okay. Let's see if I can bring that truck over and get this installed. Oh, I'll put that handle in first. All right, the primer wasn't dry, but I installed that, and then I touched it a bunch of spots, so I taped it, painted it, and then there's a spot there, so I held a piece of cardboard on it and sprayed it. Then I got a bunch of overspray on it, so as I was wiping off the overspray, I did that, but it's painted underneath because I painted it earlier, but I'm just gonna not touch it. Good enough, okay. So tomorrow morning, bright and early, they're gonna bring the truck over. We're gonna install this bad boy. Ciao. It'll look just like that. Both sides. Cool. Yep. Alright, that truck's supposed to come in here at 8. We'll see about that. Yeah, so I got in a bit early just so I can address this. Just on the very outside edge, I'm going to put a rivet there and there because I messed up. So I came in a bit early just to take care of that before everybody showed up. All right, a little funky, but rev it. All right, now they're into some good solid meat there, so there. That's proper. This whack-ass primer I put on there is still tacky, but I did put 2 coats on, and I put the second coat on while the first coat was still wet, so my fault. I gotta grind the paint off the bottom to weld those hinges on anyways. So there's that. So now I'm just gonna tidy up a bit and sip on coffee and wait for the truck to show up. So 8:03, they showed up right on time. So here's the cabinet. The door fits pretty good. Could have been a little hair smaller, but it's good. There's clearance around. So I'm gonna try to take a jack, probably a block of wood, and put the hinges up against the bottom and set the door down and start fitting it up. I might rev it the door to the hinges. We'll weld it. I don't know. I'll see. Play it by ear. Okay, so I made this door a little long, but it was supposed to have a piano hinge that went inside, so the length didn't matter. But now that I'm putting hinges underneath, they're going to interfere, so I just got to notch it where each hinge goes. And I figured I'd have to do that once I changed the design, but that's not a big deal. Just notch them out. Oh yeah, it's gonna look super duper. Alright, so I notched those out and drill some holes in the hinges. Let's see if that works. Alright, got the hinges in place. I just held them up with a jack and a piece of angle iron and set the door on and dry fitted it. So they're welded on. Just some ugly 60-10 welds under there. See, I wanted these bottom of the hinges to sit nice and flat to the bottom, so yeah, set the door on, drill and rev it. That's it. Adjust the latch. Well, the paint job is whack, but other than that, you know, opens up. Okay. Closes. And that's right on. That's a door. See? Wow. Whew. Okay. Good enough. Alright, so that turned out pretty cool. It's a door. I'm just gonna clean up and get out of here. See you on the next one, guys. I'm working on lots of stuff right now.